Swanlata liked singing songs in a language totally incomprehensible to her parents, and she always performed dances together with the songs. It was as if she had learned them together and could not separate them from each other. In a visit, Professor Stevenson's colleague, who was a native of Bengal, recognized the songs as Bengali. The songs were later identified as the popular songs in a town called Sylhet in Bangladesh. And Swanlata claimed that she had learned the songs and dances from her friend during the past life when living in Sylhet, Bangladesh. Professor Stevenson has remained in touch with Swanlata. Swanlata shows no thinking disorder, but in fact is very intelligent. She has done very well in her studies. She obtained her bachelor's degree in engineering at the age of 19 and her Master of Science degree in engineering at the age of 21. She began to teach at an Indian college when she was only 23. This is only one of thousands of compelling cases collected by Professor Stevenson that verified reincarnation. Research shows that every one of us has been going through an unlimited number of lives. Professor Stevenson is now a world-renowned scholar in the area of reincarnation. Several of his famous research publications are 20 cases suggestive of reincarnation. Children who remember previous lives, a question of reincarnation, and where reincarnation and biology intersect. People who are familiar with Professor Stevenson's research, including skeptics and critics, agree that these cases offer compelling proofs for reincarnation. Let me cite Dr. Harold Leaf's compliment on Professor Stevenson's research contribution in the Journal of Nervous and Mental Diseases. He said, either Dr. Stevenson is making a colossal mistake, or he will be known as Galileo of the 20th century. As we know, Galileo was an astronomer in Italy in the 17th century. He discovered the moon of Jupiter and published an unorthodox but very true statement that Earth is not the center of the universe. Unfortunately, he was cruelly burned to death by the religious authority at that time. However, Galileo's discovery seriously subverted people's views towards the universe in the 17th century. Predictably, the discovery of reincarnation will have the same, if not more, serious effect on modern science. Although Dr. Stevenson is now retired as an emeritus professor of psychiatry from the University of Virginia, he still maintains an active research agenda in the area of reincarnation. He recently published a book where reincarnation and biology intersect, which theorizes that reincarnation may be viewed as the etiology or cause of birthmarks and birth defects. After I read this book, I sent an email to him, congratulating his accomplishment and contribution in the area of reincarnation. I also tried to relate my research area, which is finance, and asked him what implications reincarnation might have for financial investments. Professor Stevenson kindly replied to me that research findings suggest that a person's skills and abilities are usually succeeded from his past lives. This viewpoint might explain why investors, even with same trainings and experience in this life, have different earning performances. A great implication of reincarnation for finance is that people's earnings and wealth are related to their past lives' activities. Such a viewpoint actually originates in some Eastern religions, such as Buddhism, that dates back 3,000 years ago. Buddhism points out that a person's present wealth comes from his charitable works in his past lives. In general, the quality of one's present life is determined by the person's own deeds. Good deeds will be rewarded by fortune, and evil deeds will be penalized by hardship. I believe that if modern academic disciplines, including finance, were able to incorporate the fact of reincarnation, there would be a breakthrough in their respective researches. As an example, Western economics holds that competition and selfishness help create wealth. However, from the reincarnation's standpoint, wealth gained by competition and selfishness cannot be carried over to the next life. So how can one maximize one's wealth and utility over multiple lifetimes? This ought to be the real question. Let me introduce you another psychiatry scholar, Dr. Brian Weiss. Dr. Brian Weiss is a famous psychotherapist in the United States. He received his medical doctor degree from Yale University in 1970. He has served as a faculty member at the University of Pittsburgh and the University of Miami. Later, he was appointed the chief of psychiatry at a large university-affiliated hospital. And he is currently chairman emeritus of psychiatry at the Mount Sinai Medical Center in Miami. Dr. Weiss has published extensively in the area of psychotherapy and reincarnation. His top-selling books include Many Lives, Many Masters, Through Time into Healing, Mirrors of Time, Using Regression for Physical, Emotional, and Spiritual Healing, etc. This case discusses one of Dr. Weiss' patients, Catherine, who was able to recall her past life's traumas that appeared to hold the key to her anxiety attacks. Catherine remembered